Hey guys, welcome to another video, Purple Political Talk here, and today we're going to talk about the 2020 presidential election, going through at what is Donald Trump's pathway to winning the election. We're going to look at many different things right now and looking at exactly what does Donald Trump need to win and where does he need to win definitely for him to not lose the election. So before we start, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to be up to date with our latest content. So let's get started. So this map shows all the states that currently are kind of the swing states and are somewhat necessary for the president to win. There's some states that he does not have to win just because of the numbers. However, the majority of states that are currently not filled in on your screen, President Donald Trump needs to win re-election in the United States of America. So looking at this map, there's many things the president could do. He could go and focus on the southeast, on the Sun Belt. He could focus on the Rust Belt, which I would say is the smartest move. He could go to the southwest. But if anything, it's just going to be retaining seats. They're very low from pickup opportunities for the president nationwide, although we're still somewhat far away from general election day when it comes to states coming into play at the end. And we see some of those states in 2016. Again, this election will not be like 2016. However, some of the states that will be closed will have some similarities to what happened in 2016. So I'm going to go through three scenarios, I would say, that would show where the president could be going with his campaign team. And I will tell you what are some of the states that are necessary for the president to win. Right now, the president has to win. I'm going to denote the states in the lighter shade of red. He has to win Texas to win, Georgia, Ohio, Iowa, North Carolina, and Florida. These are crucial for his victory. He doesn't win in these states, the chances of him losing are pretty solid because he needs to win these states. Florida, if he doesn't go without Florida, he has to make it up winning Pennsylvania, Michigan, and then even Wisconsin, which for the president, where right now he may not be in the best standing nationwide, although his polling numbers are definitely going up. Also, because of a dive in Biden polls, RCP's battleground averages show that the president is actually within the margin of error in the averages in Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania. And right now, the state of Florida, at least according to the polling numbers, is not looking too good for the president because we're currently sitting at a point where he is essentially fighting a polling numbers that are further to the left than those of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, which again is something very interesting and we're going to see develop in the next couple of days. So right now, these states, they have a lot of Trump support just because of how the Republican DNA is. And I think, honestly, even though they might get tight in polls, I think Donald Trump will most likely win these states, and it's going to be necessary for him. If he doesn't win, if he loses one of the states that I have filled in the likely red, I mean, his shots at the presidency, I would say, go completely out the window. He's going to have to kind of figure out where he's going to make up those polling numbers. And I mean, a lot of people are a little bit skeptical of states like North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, even Texas and Ohio, and all the states actually filled in because polling averages are close, like I said. In Texas, I would say that polling averages, I think, will get close. But again, the Democrats haven't won a statewide race in so long. There's always the time for the first. However, I think, like, honestly, in a state where he still won by, if I'm correct, 9 or 7 points, I forget which one, I would say that, honestly, the president winning here is very likely, although Biden could get insanely close and going to do records for the Democrats in modern political history in the state of Texas. Well, in states like Florida, there's no excitement for Joe Biden. If I live in Florida, and I would tell you, if I saw one or like 3 Biden signs during like the quarantine and all the time that's like the campaign season, I would be exaggerating. I kid you not, haven't seen more than one Biden sign anywhere in Florida. I only see Trump signs, which shows the excitement is on the side of the president. Of course, polling numbers could be low for him for many reasons. I would say mostly because of some anti-Trump support, especially in the middle part of the state of Florida. Those elder voters that live in the I-4 belt who decided they maybe do not want to vote for the Republican this time around because it is Donald Trump. Who knows what's going on? But at least when it comes to excitement, which again is very important in elections, I would say Trump is leading in Florida. And in the rest of these states, they all have something in common, especially Iowa, Ohio, and Georgia. These are states that somewhat have been contested, and there's a lot of minorities there. However, they have strong Republican DNA with rural voters and other types of voters that honestly always or most of the time vote Democrat. And I think for the Democrats to win in Ohio or Iowa, we've seen in the past, it has to be a very exceptionally strong candidate on their part. In the case of Barack Obama. And here's the thing. Barack Obama was very inspiring. He was moving. He moved votes. People wanted to vote for him. Well, for Biden, I guess that he doesn't have the same charisma there. And that's really going to hurt him when it comes winning those states. So if I were the Republican Party, these are states that are necessary for a victory because if not, you can't win. However, they should be focusing on the other states, which are important. So now I'm going to know what the GOP needs to do for Trump to win with the lightest shade of pink, or in this case, light red. So we're going to look at it and look at the states where it's going to be more likely. So I think, honestly, Arizona is almost like a must for the GOP at this time. They're not fairly off from winning there. I mean, they're only about around behind by 2.2 points, which, speaking polling averages, which have a margin of error anywhere around from 2 to 3 to 4 points, that's an exceptionally strong polling numbers for the Democrats. Still, I would say that for a Trump victory, the state of Arizona is a must. And if they do not win in Arizona, then it's going to be hard for them to win nationwide electorally because those are states that they need for the numbers to fit into the boxes. Because I think at this point, even though, like, let's say he wins one of the 4 Rust Belt states, he would have to win Michigan or Pennsylvania to win. If he loses the other 2, they're dead. So right now, the president needs to focus his strategy on where he's going to go. And I mean, at this point, I would say that means our 2nd congressional district is a district where Donald Trump has been leading. He's been doing all these different things. So if you add that to the total, he's at 260. He just needs to win one of the Rust Belt states, which at this point, the polling numbers are going down. So it's going to be somewhat easier for him to win. However, it's still going to be quite a little bit of a challenge for President Donald Trump. So where would I say is his best chances right now? Surprisingly, Wisconsin or Michigan. So before a lot of you start scratching your heads, why would I say Wisconsin or Michigan are his best points or best states to go to? He already gave up on Michigan, but latest polling averages in Michigan have Donald Trump behind by only 2 to 3 points, which is good comparing to the polling averages that were maybe 2 weeks ago where they were +7 for the Democratic Party. So if he can focus enough money there and start investing back into the state, he might be able to go and win there. But in the state of Wisconsin, where right now the Kenosha riots are a big part of the state, and how a lot of people, especially those suburban moderate Democrats and Republicans, that might have a little bit of a tough chance thinking on who they're going to vote for, a lot of them are flipping to President Trump for one major reason, and it simply is the Kenosha riots and how he's handled them. He's gone through and fixed all the problems and things like that, which, again, these riots, they have a reason, of course. But for public safety, I think a lot of the moderate Democrats and the Republicans, especially in the suburbs, are going to decide to vote for President Trump because of the actions he's taken with that. However, the Republicans have a low chances of winning their long run. However, things can definitely happen. And I think at this point, let's suppose that Biden wins everything else. I will denote that by the darker section of the blue. And honestly, it's going to be winning the states that have like somewhat solid Republican DNA. In this case, Florida, states like Ohio, states like Texas, states like Iowa, Arizona at this point. And not only doing that, but also keeping one of the states he flipped in the Rust Belt from 2016. And it's going to be crucial for him. If he's not able to do that, then he might have somewhat of a little bit of a tougher time winning the general election, because I think at this point in time, the map is essentially Trump must win most of the states he won in 2016, so he can only afford to lose essentially two of the Rust Belt states. It could be any combination of the ones that he won. He can lose two and still win if he carries everything else. If he starts losing in other places, he's going to start to look where he's going to go, look where he's going to make it up. And that's the thing about this map. If you lose one place, the good thing is that since it's electoral map college, if you lose the popular vote, that doesn't matter because of how the electoral college is set up. You lose in one place, you can go to the other place and get the other basket of votes that you needed, which I think at this point is going to be something that helps up the President Trump. Polling numbers have been going down. I think that the RNC was very moving for people, especially in the Midwest. So that's something we're going to end up seeing, and we're going to see how it develops and what ends up happening there, because I'm actually really interested in seeing what ends up happening with this election, because we saw a point where Biden was leading by over 7 to 10 points in some of these states, which are now narrowing down to 5, 4, 3, in some cases 2 points. So you guys have to be very critical, and you guys have to see what is going on in the 2020 presidential election and be up to date with the latest content on that. And I think it's important. So I will cover the presidential election very oftenly and see what impacts and new developments we're getting. And I'm trying to professionalize some of this content. You see, we have now a ticker on the bottom, so you can see some news that I put there and things like that. So it's going to be very interesting as we move on. So we would use this new format of video to go on and do more work like this. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please give it a huge thumbs up, like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, get notified when I post my next video. Hope you enjoyed the video, and goodbye.